Good afternoon, it's Steve with CarSmart in Niagara Falls, Ontario. Another nice import for you today. 2019 Civic Si Coupe, 6-speed manual, nice clean car. Local Ontario car. Actually, I purchased this direct from a local Niagara Falls resident that was downsizing their car fleet, and again, glad to have it. This is in real nice shape, lots of little upgrades that it's had done. So let's get started. So currently this has 172,616. It's for 19, that's about average kilometers, based on 20,000 kilometers a year of driving. Windows have been tinted. You can see a nice deep privacy tint throughout. 2 sets of wheels and tires. Now it's got a real nice American Racing 18-inch alloy. You can see brand new brakes in behind there as well. On the rear, that is, I should say. Again, 2 sets of wheels and tires. These are the all-season tires here, and you can see we've got lots and lots of meat on those as well. It's got PPF, or paint protection film, sort of protecting the upper and lower edges of that front hood. Of course, the SI treatment gives it all the blacked out with the red accents and red badging as well. You've got fog lights down below. Headlights, both low beam and high beam, are LED daytime running lights. Of course, that PPF does wrap around into the corners here as well to protect, again, from damage from bugs and stones, etc. Mirrors themselves are what they call a breakaway design. You can see how they pivot on the screen. The right side mirror on the higher end Hondas have this lane watch system. It's a real neat feature. There's a little button on the signal column that you can push to activate it, and your center screen, just like your backup camera, will illuminate with that whole sort of right side lane blind spot illuminated for you. It also activates when you actually do a right signal. The mirrors themselves also have a PPF, or paint protection film treatment, to protect. You can see again both front and rear wheels have sort of nice big sort of fog lights, or fog lights. The word I'm looking for is mud flaps, mud guards, splash guards, any of the above. There's the original Honda wheels. Again, you can see he's got those American Racing wheels with his summer tires. It's got a full set of winter tires here with the original 18-inch SI alloys, and they're sort of a nice machined finish with sort of all black, carbon black inlay. So very sharp wheels themselves. Entry themselves, again, you've got a keyless or smart key entry, so just approaching the car from either side, just pull the handle, they automatically unlock. As you open up the door, you'll see again down on the lower section, sort of the SI lower sill, so it gives it a sportier appearance, but it also protects. This is a plastic painted material, but protects all the rocker panels and everything down below from sort of sandblasting effect, from salt and sand and things on the road. Up top we've got a deep tinted glass power moonroof or sunroof that both tilts and fully retracts, has an interior sunshade, a nice little shark fin antenna for the navigation and satellite radio operation, etc. So it's all your satellite antenna. It also does house the regular AM and FM antennas as well. Now this is a factory spoiler on the back that the SI Coupes came with. LED brake lights and tail light combinations. So both the tail lights, as well as when you apply brakes, they illuminate as well. You've got a backup camera there. Of course, SI badging, SI rear bumper treatment, that sort of lower diffuser, and then that central exhaust. And this is really unique. I love how that looks. Again, it's a nice polished chrome, sort of trapezoidal exhaust outlet that flares out, so that reduces the back pressure on the exhaust for freer breathing. It's all stainless steel exhaust, so again, very high quality materials. They will last a long time. It has a push to open fuel door system, a capless fuel door, so you just stick your fuel filler neck in there, fill her up. Now these are designed for maximum performance to run on premium gas, but it also specs in the literature I've been reading that you can run it on any grade of gas. Obviously maximum performance going to come out of a 91 octane, but you could use mid-grade or regular. You're not going to develop full horsepower. You're probably going to lose about 10 horsepower between a regular and a premium. So for many people, hey, they'll save that 30 cents a liter, and so that's really a decision you need to make, but it will not harm the engine. You've got, again, I mentioned the folding mirrors on both sides. Front, what they call wiper park de-icing down on the lower glass. Now let's jump inside and have a closer look here. So this has 172,600 clicks on it, sort of average kilometers for that age, you know, based on sort of average driver doing about 20 clicks a year. You will see the spots where, again, they've drilled in to do rust proofing, you know, where they can spray in all the cavities. That's one of the reasons why the body in this is so clean. You'll see that under hood when we finish up. Nice sort of, again, sort of red stitching throughout. We've got a premium audio speaker, or 10-speaker audio system from Honda with this, with a rear subwoofer. It's like 450 watts, so lots of punch. That rear subwoofer gives you a good bass response. So again, if you like your audio, this will certainly impress. Power windows with a lockout switch that cancels the other power windows, so if you have a child sitting up front playing with the windows, driver can put a stop to it. Central locking, power mirrors, of course heated mirrors for, you know, self-defrosting. Nice big pockets, power trunk release. So speakers below, speakers above, center channel speakers, speakers in the rear, speakers on the rear deck, rear subwoofer, again 10 speakers throughout. And the big thing with the SI is the sport seats. Not only do they look sharp with all the sort of the two-tone fabric and stitching and badging, but it's really in the construction. It's almost like a racing seat. It's got very nice bolsters, you know, lower and upper to really hugs. Okay, you've got a height adjuster on the seat as well, so you know, if you lift the seat for better visibility. It's got a real nice set of these last fit. I've seen these before. They're expensive. They're not cheap floor mats, but they're much like a WeatherTech, but I think they're higher quality. I don't know, the way they fit and the weight of them, they're really, I don't know, they're a nice, more flexible rubber than the WeatherTechs, and then you'll see them in the front and back as well, and you see how that loops right up over the tunnel, so it really just keeps your carpets like new underneath. We've got tilt and telescopic steering underneath, you know, the ability to turn off your stability or VSA, so that's vehicle stability assist. It's really combined all-speed traction control as well as anti-skid control. This uses a very advanced four-wheel disc braking system, you know, with what they call cross-corner or dual diagonal braking lines. We've got sensors at all four corners. You know, with the advanced ABS that Honda's using, this can actually pulse the brakes up to 24 times per second, and it can do each brake individually. So if you go into a corner, for example, maybe hit a little patch of ice or sand and start to slide, it will sense that and automatically correct the skid by sort of doing cross-corner braking, you know, braking right front and left rear, which will pull the car back into alignment so you maintain steering control. So very advanced. Yeah, let's have a quick seat and go through inside. As mentioned, 172,000. I'll just turn down the fan a bit here. It's a hot day here, so I had the air conditioning on high. So 172, 616 kilometers. Nice clean instrumentation. So starting on the left, you'll see your engine temperature gauge. That's this little seatbelt warning light up top. You've got a tachometer here. Your speedometer readout is all digital, which gives you the ability to go into the menu and sort of flip it over to miles per hour from kilometers if you're doing any traveling in the US. Of course, your digital tach. Now you've got a 6,500 RPM redline, so again, a 1.5 liter double overhead cam, direct injected, turbocharged intercooled engine, so it's got lots of top end, and again, very torquey little engine with the turbo on it. So we'll get into the specs here in a moment, but again, you'll see down below you have outside or ambient temperature gauge, of course digital clock, your odometer, there's trip odometers within the menu. You got the range computer, all the average, you know, trip odometers, trip fuel, distance to empty, etc., like you're finding on most newer cars. And headlights over here, we do have an automatic mode. I sort of have them manually selected on for the daytime demonstration, but then of course you get your fog lights on and off from down below. So I'm just going to put them on auto now so we can show you the fog lights when we finish up. Sport SI steering wheel, I've always loved these nice thick rimmed steering wheels. Got that nice sort of cool red stitching on the inside, so but very comfortable. You know, it's genuine leather, not an imitation, and nicely contoured at sort of 10 and 2 o'clock on the wheel to sort of hold your hands in that ideal driving position. Of course, your horn is in the center. It's dual stage intelligent airbags for both the frontal airbag as well as the airbag on the front passenger side. When we say dual stage, they will deploy at a lower or higher threshold based on the amount of impact energy you might be encountering in any given collision. So the computer will read all the various factors of deceleration and etc. and select the appropriate airbag level. Also on here, of course, lots of multifunction controls. Up, down. This is your volume control. To tap that to increase. It displays right up on the dash there when you do so. And you've got sort of multifunction control where you can change your song selection, etc. So I can do it all from here. Right now I'm sort of streaming music from my iPhone, but we'll get into that in a moment. You've got a multifunction display here as well, so this allows you to sort of cycle through the various options of phone and setup, and you can have your email and your text messaging pushed through to the car. It's got Siri eyes-free compatibility, Apple CarPlay, Google Android Auto, so it's got all the latest tech in that sense. Voice command, so again you can call up your media, your navigation, place phone calls, all using voice recognition. It's also apparently a bilingual interface too. I haven't tried it because my French isn't very good, but it definitely works well in English. And you've got your phone controls here, a back button. Opposite side is your cruise control setup, and then we've got our variable delay intermittent wipers over on the side. Of course, your fuel gauge is over on the side, and then there's a little push button right here for your trip odometer reset. And the other thing down here is just a parking brake indicator. You'll notice it's a push button stop-start system, so it's using an intelligent key. Over on the seat here, I've got both keys laid out, but those are these little sort of square fobs from Honda. There is a key actually embedded within. There's a little slide control, and you can pull it out. That way if your battery ever goes dead and you've ignored the warnings to change your key fob battery, you're never stuck. You can still get in the car using the key, and then you just sort of hold the key up to the push button start, and it'll still start even if there's no battery or a totally dead battery in the key fob. So as mentioned earlier, 6-speed manual. It's a nice chromed steering or shift knob, and then it's got a sort of a leather wrap on it, leather boot. Behind here is a QI charge pad. I don't have it turned on there, but this basically charges your phone when it's down here automatically. And again, it's what they call a wireless charging pad. Now you notice the cord management. There's two little slots, and it actually takes your cords so that you can then plug them into the USB input charger, and the other one over there is just a more conventional 12-volt power socket, like the round plug. But again, for CarPlay or Android Auto, you do need to plug it in. And so up top here, again, if you're familiar with CarPlay, there's your home menu, and where you got all your calendars and music and maps and all your basic apps that are compatible right from your smartphone off here. So whether it's different music services or text messaging, phone. Let's go to Maps here as an example. That's a Google Maps. And one thing I like about Google is they've got the you can select it within the menu, the overlay, so you get the satellite imagery showing on your map, so you can pick out sort of the water tower or the park that you're passing by. So it just gives you more references. I find it's a little easier, especially if you're driving in a strange area where you're not familiar with the local landmarks. And then of course you've got your menu down the side for home screens and map and audio, and of course it does have factory GPS as well. Phone integration, again, real simple to work with. Of course every car takes getting used to. There's always a acclimatization to come to, unless you're coming directly out of a similar Honda with similar features. Again, every car takes some getting used to. Climate control, if I hit the climate control button, up will come your kind of detailed climate control stuff. Oh, I'll just take a quick message here while we're doing that there. I'll get back to them shortly. But again, going back to climate control, you'll see your AC on and off buttons here, your various control buttons for all the various airflow patterns. Use 6 different speeds for fan. And then down below are really just your quick access buttons. So this is what you're going to use more day to day. You've got dual zone temperature controls, and you'll see those displaying up top there. And then we've got heated seats, 3 stages for driver passenger. This little light is just a passenger airbag on-off indicator. If you look at it right now, get that in focus, you'll see there's like a little X through there that's basically saying this frontal airbag is now off. Now why is that? Because, well, nobody's sitting in it. So it's got an intelligent sort of weight sensor in there, and if the weight doesn't hit like anything below about 90 pounds, it automatically turns off that frontal airbag, assuming that either there's nobody sitting there or there's a child sitting there that's under that weight level. Airbags, especially frontal airbags, are designed for adults, so it's very important if you are sitting a child up here, you don't want that airbag on. So that's all set up for safety. So very smart setup. Now, books and manuals, Carfax history. So if we look at Carfax to start, you'll see no accident, no damage records, lots of service records. You've got both keys, as previously mentioned, all your books. Looks like somewhere along the line somebody had an extended warranty. I don't know if that's still in play, but you can certainly check with the Honda dealer. One thing we always make sure of too is do lien searches. And again, I bought this off Kyle, a local gentleman, and he had just paid out his loan with First Ontario Credit Union, so you know it's free and clear going on to the next buyer. Nice big glove box that easily pops out too, and then in behind is a in-cabin filter for the air conditioning system, so it gives easy access to do those changes. Day-night rear view mirror, overhead sort of spotlights or map lights. Then you have your controls, as well as embedded microphones and speakers here for voice communications. But this button here activates your tilt function on that sunroof, and then also operates that sort of power sliding control for full retraction. There's a little pop-up vent on the front there that helps reduce the buffeting effect. And the other feature here is really just for lighting. I just noticed that sunroof has a bit of a chatter, so we'll give that a lubrication on the tracks. Then we've got visor vanity mirrors for driver and passenger. These, I believe, also are extending. Yeah, see how that flips out and slides, so it just gives you bigger shade coverage. And then we've got curtain airbags. See the little stamp on the upper pillar there, but extending up both over the front seat and the rear seat in the back, and then side impact airbags on the side. Now, Honda have developed what they call a smart venting side airbag, so they're designed to just give better protection, but also to vent the air. Airbags, when they come out, they're very, very hot air, because it's almost like a little mini explosion that inflates them. So it's very important that the way they're vented, that they don't cause any burns. So again, Honda's certainly been a leader in that respect. Down below here, we've got the brake hold and auto brake release here. Brake hold just sort of holds the vehicle while you're stationary, and then you've got a sport button here that sort of changes really the whole characteristics of the car. When I push that to, you see sport off, sport on. So it sort of changes the steering effect. It changes your throttle control. And I should have pointed out too, it's got the nice stainless steel pedals with the little rubber inserts in them. It's very grippy and very sporty. Through the middle here we have a sliding center armrest that sort of pops up, and then there's like a little sliding tray, sliding cup holders, front and back, so there's lots of space. If you have those, you see a lot of these huge water bottles these days, they'll fit nicely down there. And then there's an additional smart charge USB port in the back. So yeah, very, very well laid out. So let's open up hood and trunk, and we'll go on to those areas. Now, rear seat goes back here again. We have a split 60/40 fold down, so there is 3 seat belts in the back, but most comfortable for 2. But the seats themselves are sort of sculpted out, so it gives a little more leg room. Again, we've got those nice cup holders on the sides. It has the anchor point, so you can put child seats in any of those 3 positions across the back, with the latch anchors down below and the overhead tether strap coming through. Folding the seats, you can see levers here and here to flip and fold these inside. You can just give them a little push and away they go. Under the floor, of course, your spare tire, tools, jack, everything's complete here. Very, very clean. Nice fully lined, carpeted and insulated trunk. So, we're almost done here. Under hood, again we have a 1.5 liter, they call Earth Dreams in the Honda world. So again, this is their latest technology. It's a double overhead cam engine, 16 valves with variable valve timing. The direct injection, you'll always hear that tick because it's a much higher pressure fuel injection. So some people would hear that and say, oh, there's something wrong with the valves. No, that's the way these newer engines sound. You really notice it when the hood is up, but you know, they've got extra insulation and whatnot. But they're running at about 10 to 15 times the fuel injection pressure that a standard common rail sort of port fuel injection would be. And it just gives a much better atomization of the fuel, you know, for cleaner burning, so less emissions, more power. It's really a win-win situation. You see, again, past owner sort of upgraded the air box with a K&N, what they call filter charger. It's just a cleaner intake element. The battery is easy access. Of course, you've got your power brake fluid, washer fluid, coolant, everything's easy to get to within here. As far as performance, these developed like 205 horsepower. So again, you're getting over 20 pounds of boost pressure. I wrote this down here, let me check my notes. Yeah, 20.3 psi of boost, developing 205 horsepower, 192 pound-feet of torque. So very good efficient power out of a 1.5 liter engine. All through a 6-speed manual, and nobody does a manual better than Honda. This is one fun car to drive. This can be yours. We're CarSmart in Niagara Falls. I'm Steve MacGregor. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call. 905-354-0049 is our number.